Let's take a look at Backup Exec 16, do an overview, take a look at some of the different features it has, and how to configure them. So we're opening up Backup Exec 16, and we can see it takes us right into our home page. And prior to that, it shows us some different things that are new in Backup Exec 16 that you can certainly read and take a look. Go ahead and close. So this is a brand new installation. The only thing that we've done so far is just add the storage, but nothing else has been done. And you can see some of the default warnings that come up, such as critical settings are not configured. So if we want to fix those, then we can go ahead and click in this area, and it'll take us and show us what the problem is. In this case, it's the database encryption key. We need to export it in order to keep it safe in case it gets lost. We see that the virtual machine backup status is not available because we haven't done anything yet. I did add the storage, as you can see in this section, and you can hit the drop down and see how much space is available. There is no simplified disaster recovery disk yet created, but we will do that in an upcoming video, and that helps you to recover from data more quickly because it creates a bootable DVD that links directly to the storage device. So you can really recover from a bare metal restoration that you need to do in case the hard drive or the whole server goes down. There are summary reports on installation information. There's other documentation you can click here. This is the trial version, so you can see it has 60 days left before we are required to purchase it. And here's some active alerts that are going on. Now, if you don't want to see some of these different things, all you have to do is just click the X, and it'll make those go away. You can also click the middle section as well, and you can see a larger version of that. Clicking on the 3 columns button takes us back to where we were, and you can also see some additional things like the backup size. So we show the last 7 days. We can also show different amount of days if we want, and we will be reviewing these as we go through the videos for this course. We can also see the Veritas RSS reader if we want, and the backup status. Let's take a look at the Backup and Restore tab, and we can see the name of our server, and we only have the one server at this point, and we can see a 7-day outlook of what's happened with the last 7 backups, of which we don't have any yet. We can also see the details at the bottom, and we can expand that if we want and click refresh. We can also choose backup to disk by clicking there. We could choose to restore, but we don't have any backups yet. We're going to do that shortly. And we can also delete backups or delete servers as well. This gives us a list of all of our drives that we have, as well as any special applications. And we see that we have Microsoft SQL Server installed and Hyper-V. And if we wanted to just back up our system state, which is all the important informational files that we need to run our server that are separate from our data, then we can back that up and restore it as well. We have an option here for retired servers, but obviously we don't have any of those yet, just in case you're no longer using certain servers for backup, but you want to keep that historical information. We can also click on Group All Servers. We don't have a group yet, but we can certainly do that in an upcoming video. If we look at this row here, this ribbon, I guess we could call it, we have several different options, such as clicking on the drop down where it says backup, and we can immediately back up to disk. We can back up to disk and convert to a virtual machine, and we can back up to disk and simultaneously convert to virtual machine. We can create a synthetic backup, which takes backups all together, incremental and full, and puts them together into one most recent full backup. And we can create a new backup using the settings from an existing backup if we have those settings imported as well. We can do a one-time backup just to get things going, and that's pretty easy to do since we have storage. So we'll go ahead and just show how to get that started at least. And on the left-hand side, we're going to see a list. Now, there's usually a little delay when you open this to gather all the different drives and applications. But if you want, you can click on Edit over here, and we can see some different options we can change. We have the option to run this now or at a future time. We can choose our storage device. We can choose network interfaces in case you have more than one and you want to have one for backups and one for internal traffic. You can set up notification. You can verify. You can do granular recovery as well. And there's a lot of other options here, including virtual machines and SQL. Let's go ahead and cancel. And we can also choose a backup calendar to give us a view of when our backups are going to be run, which is pretty nice that we can see that all at once. You can sort by month, day, or week. If we want, we can add a server by clicking Add Server, and it'll give us a lot of different options here, what type of server we want to add, and it'll show up in our server list, of which we only have one right now. We can hold our backup queue in case we want to just stop backups, but we don't need to necessarily bring the server itself down. And we can remove a recovered virtual machine in case we no longer need it. If we click on Job Monitor, we'll see the list of different jobs and the histories here, which I'll show in upcoming videos. And here is our storage. In a previous video, I set up the storage that you see here, and you can go back and watch that if you'd like. And here's the reports. The reports gives us really good information that tells us what's happened detail-wise, what files were backed up, what files were skipped, what files could not be backed up at all. And once you run some backups, then you'll see those, and we'll show some reports in upcoming videos. Let's go back to the Home button and then click in the button in the upper left-hand corner, and we can see here's where all the configuration is done. We have the configurations and settings, installation and licensing, going online for help, some technical support as well, help and documentation that's local to the program, and we could also close Backup Exec as well. Backup Exec was taken over by Veritas, which was the owner prior to selling to Symantec. Symantec then spun it back off to Veritas, and now all deals are done through Veritas. So you can go to veritas.com if you would like to get information on how to purchase the product or download the 60-day trial. So that's an overview of Backup Exec 16, and we'll be doing a lot of videos that show how to configure all these different options very soon.